Hello, Ninjas. Larry Kendall here with your weekly Ninja Action Tip. I'd like to offer you three questions for buyers. And I think when you work with a buyer, don't assume anything based upon their age, for example, or how they're dressed. The three questions are this. Number one, what do you earn? Number two, what do you have? And number three, who do you know? Now, you wouldn't necessarily just ask it that way, but you need to determine that. You need to determine their income. You need to determine their resources or their assets, and you need to determine who they know. Let me give you a couple of examples. I was renting one of our rental properties to four college students, and one of the students was the one who always brought the rent in every month. And he came in to bring the rent in one day, and he says, Mr. Kendall, I think that I should really be buying a property rather than paying rent. Now, he's a college student. And I says, well, Randy, you need to have income for that. And he says, I have income. I said, really? Tell me about that. He says, my income is $27,000 a month. He had a trust fund. I said, let's go find a house. So don't assume just because they're a college kid, they don't have income. I also had an elderly couple walk into the house or walk into our company one day. And they said, we've just been down the street. There's another real estate company 2 blocks down. We were there, but they told us we couldn't buy a house because we didn't have an income. We live on Social Security, and they said our income wasn't big enough to buy a house. And I said, well, what other resources do you have? In other words, what do you have? This couple had over $1 million in CDs. Let's go look at houses. So don't get hung up just on income. Also look at the resources that they have. I also had a young woman. She was in college. She came in the office. She'd been referred. She wanted to buy a place. College student. And I said, do you have an income? No. Do you have any savings or resources? No. But I asked her, who do you know? Well, her father was a very famous and very wealthy personality. And I said, let's go look at houses because Dad was going to be really the buyer of the house. What does all this mean? What this means is that right now with the high interest rates, what I'm seeing is this. A lot of people are finding alternative ways to help buyers buy houses. About 25 to 30% of the homes that are selling right now are selling for cash. One of our submarkets here in Northern Colorado is over 50% of the homes sold last year sold for cash. There's an amazing amount of equity and cash floating in the market. In fact, about 70% of the people who own a home in the United States either own it free and clear or they have more than 50% equity. So they have the resources that they can tap to pretty much do whatever they want. The other thing to consider, the baby boom generation, my generation, controls $80 trillion worth of wealth, which is estimated to be about half the entire wealth of the country. And what are they doing with that? What I'm observing, many of them are helping their kids and their grandkids buy houses. You'll see some 30-something couple go out and pay $1 million for a house and they'll pay cash for it. You go, where did they get that money? If you swim upstream, you'll discover probably there was mom, dad, or grandma and grandpa involved in that deal. Open up your mind to the resources available to your buyers to help them buy a house. That's your action tip for the week. Make sure you know what they make, what they have, and who they know. The system works when you work the system.